huge fan of the show. I've watched it many, many times. So I purposely haven't written many questions. So
Okay.
I thought I'd just talk to you about the
Sure.
show. I guess the first thing was, I remember when I first bought the first DVD, which was a blind buy, which someone had told me about. And then from there it just, blew up and whatever else. But is it strange that it's been 10 years? I mean, for me as a fan, it's just, I can't believe it's just been like one long kind of holiday, if you like. But it's been 10 years. I guess for you guys, it must be strange that it's been a decade.
It's overwhelming to think about the time span, because some days it feels like just yesterday. And some days, especially when you're in the middle of the season, especially towards the end of the season, and you're getting there, you're like, wow, man, like, you've done so many episodes, what episode is what episode is what, and then you take a little break from the show and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to go back because I don't know how long, this feels like it was just yesterday. So I think it's a bit of both for us, or at least for me. I can't speak for everyone else. But what I do know is that the nostalgic side of me is definitely kicking in because I know now, regardless, we have less time than we've already had. Unless you go 10 years or 11 more years, which no one wants to see this in 10 years, by the way it's going. So,
I watched the pilot again recently. I do a thing where I just go back through them because I've got more on DVD.
How skinny and beautiful.
I was going to say how young you all look. Not that you obviously all aged very, very well, but in terms of like Kaley looks like she's almost a teenager.
She was almost a teenager, I think, when she started.
Is that scary looking back at that and looking at yourselves, or is
that
kind
of
of
course.
Nice
No, it's not nice. It's like, oh, what happened to me? Oh man, yeah, it's always. For me, it's twofold. I go back and I say, wow, I can really see how in the beginning I was trying so hard. I can look at my performances and say I really wanted every joke to work. I really wanted to make every moment to work, and I can see myself just pushing, and somewhere around season 3 it really kicked in for me, where I really just let go and just trusted the words and trusted my instinct. But the first 2 seasons, at least, when I look back at my own performances, and maybe it's because I knew what was going on within me, I'm like, wow, I'm just pushing, just trust it, just let it happen. But I was young.
I remember in the pilot you had a hat, I think, if I remember rightly.
They got rid of that after the pilot, yeah.
I was going to ask you about the wardrobe. I mean, Raj's wardrobe is so eclectic and he's got so many colours and so many things going on. I mean, was that something that over the course of years you just said, we have to keep with this? This is just part of this character.
Look, Mary Quigley does our costumes and she's phenomenal and she's been doing it forever on a lot of Chuck's shows. So I don't question it. I just put it on. I just couldn't work.
It wears quite a lot of layers. I always think he must be quite warm, but I guess maybe because of the
the discussion always was that Raj, because of his social anxiety, always liked to protect himself, and that's why he wears a lot of layers. And recently, he said something to Penny. He's like, it's a fashion choice and it's not cheap. It's apparently very expensive to dress like him. Because you don't get those clothes anywhere anymore, I think. I think he has to buy all of them in vintage stores.
How has the success, not in a bad way, but I guess it's changed in many ways, but in terms of the show, I mean, when it started, it was quite slow, but then in the middle of sort of season 4 or 5, it started to get 20 million viewers or whatever else in the US, and then so many people over here. Did that kind of change you guys in any way, or did you just carry on with, we're just going to carry on and be as normal in the sense, because you had so many people, and now you've gone from, say, you had this many people to watch in to now you're having this many people watching?
I think the fame aspect of it on the outside world changed, but it didn't change us from within ourselves in terms of trying to make the show any different, or it didn't make us, our work ethic or our seriousness about getting it right or our discipline, it didn't change any of that. It just changed what the outside world perceived us to be. But within us, we stayed the same. We're very private cast. You don't usually see us in the tabloids. We don't talk about anything. What happens on set stays on set, and we're a family, and we've got each other's backs. We have from day one, and I think that really helps because yes, this industry, if you're not ready for it, fame can destroy you. It can make you feel entitled. It can make you do things out of your comfort zone because you feel you have to be a certain way, and it can, if you're not solidly grounded, it can change you. But we're very lucky, And look, Johnny Galecki had been working for a long time. Kaley had been working for a long time. Simon had been working for a long time. And these were people who never really got into that whole scene in sort of that culture. They kind of stayed to themselves. And when you see it, Chuck Lorre, very disciplined, very hardworking. It starts from the top. And for me, a young kid, learning from them was great.
Have you enjoyed Raj's kind of his trajectory over the years? Because
Yeah.
you know, in the beginning when he wasn't talking to women, then he had to get the alcohol. But over the years, he's had real relationships and real kind of girlfriends and everything else. Have you enjoyed seeing that journey over the 10 years, and obviously still continuing for 2 more at least?
Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed his journey. It's nice as an actor to be able to evolve with your character. You know, if the show was the same 8 years ago or 9 years ago as it is today, then people would be bored. No one would be watching it. It happens to shows all the time, by the way, where a formula works, but then people outgrow the characters because they're like, no one wants to see, you know, people who have aged 10 years still behave like they were 10 years ago emotionally. That's why this show has progressed. That's why we have families on the show now. That's why there's a baby. That's why there are marriages. You know, we've gone through losing Wolowitz's mother, Carol Ann Swissy, in real life. And then we played it on the show. We've gone to having a baby, to Raj being called a godfather, to the many marriages of Leonard and Penny. And now, between Sheldon and Amy, you know, it's a testament to the writers. And for us as actors, it's wonderful to come to work every day not knowing in what way your character is going to grow or challenge himself.
Do you have a favourite moment over the years? One of them I watched actually last night, which was when Raj and Howard are looking for like a star or something, and they kiss each other because he was going to go and kiss Bernadette.
That like slow motion.
Yeah. That was one of my favourite moments.
I've had some really fun moments
it sums up
with
their relationship
Simon.
in many strange ways.
Yeah, but it's not. It's fun for you, but it's like really icky for me because I've had to touch his chest and massage it. I've had to kiss him, like make out with him on a kissing machine. We've gotten way too close over the series. So I don't know. I tend to lean towards the emotional moments in the show. When Sheldon and Amy tell each other, when Sheldon says "I love you" to Amy, when obviously what happens in season 10 finale, when Penny gives Sheldon the Leonard Nimoy napkin with his DNA on it and he hugs her for the first time, when Raj gets called the godfather of the child, I always tend to be drawn towards emotional moments.
Just finally, I wanted to ask you. I mean, you've got 2 more seasons left. Are you kind of hopeful that you do more, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'll continue to do it as long as they'll have me. It's gonna be rare for a show to have this magnitude just because of the infrastructure and the way television is changing, and there's so many platforms to watch television now. This might go down as one of the last sort of sitcoms. Multi-camera sitcoms that are, and I'm not comparing this. I've read these things, but if we're in the same circle as Everybody Loves Raymond, Seinfeld, Friends, Big Bang Theory, you know, why would I ever walk away from this? It just doesn't make any sense.
And you've got a spin-off now as well.
And now we've got Young Sheldon, which looks
funny.
Amazing. Looks amazing. It's going to be great.
I can't wait for more. I hope you do more. I hope you do. As a fan, I just want you to do it forever. But
thank you.
Maybe we'll see. Listen, thanks so much for your time.
Lovely to meet
Absolute
you.
Pleasure.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,